Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott Desalvo here, and in today's video I want to answer the question, how long will it take before workers' comp pays? Before workers' comp pays out on my injury case, okay? So, this is a common question that I get when people call me regarding a work injury, and usually they're talking about one of two things. One is they're not getting paid. They're not getting what in Illinois is called TTD, temporary total disability, which is the money you get paid while you're off work with a doctor's note due to your work-related injury. And then the other question, when people ask that question, the other thing that they're really asking is how long will the entire case take, right? So let's talk about both of those because it's important for you to understand that. Now, I would say about 40 to 50% of the people who hire me are already getting TTD, but they're getting screwed around for another reason. Like they feel like something is going haywire at work, they're getting treated weird, their boss is getting cagey, the insurance company, the workers' comp insurance company, or the nurse case manager are getting aggressive, they're trying to pull them away from their doctors, they are trying to tell their doctors what the treatment ought to be, that sort of thing, and it's making the employee, the injured person, a little bit nervous about what's going on. And honestly, this is what I tell people, trust your instinct, because when, the way these things go is the insurance company and the people who work for the insurance company and the doctor the insurance company wants you to see, those guys play this game every day. Okay, even if you've had a work injury before, you don't play this game every day. So it's like a chess master playing against somebody who's maybe played chess before or maybe has never played chess ever, right? Versus somebody who plays chess every day, they're going to win the game, right? They're going to win the game. And because they know all the moves, they know how to set traps for you, and before you know it, your case is going to be in a tough spot, right? So a lot of people call me and they're already getting TTD. So I had one guy call me last week say, oh, if I hire you, are they going to stop paying me? That virtually never happens, okay? Hiring a lawyer doesn't turn an accepted claim into a disputed claim. But what it does do is it means a lot more money for you, and it means you have one phone call to make if you have a problem on your case. So if they won't approve your medical care, if they are harassing you at work, or if you're working light duty at work and they want you to work outside your physical restriction, anything like that, you call me and we fix it. Or you can call your lawyer and they'll tell you what the plan is, what the plan should be anyway. So that's not really a concern, but what an attorney's going to do for you is you can get you way more money at the end of the case. So for TTD, here's how it works. You need a doctor's note, right? You need a doctor's note from a doctor, and you need a restriction that says this guy or gal can't work, right? So probably 60%, 50 to 60% of the people, the reason they call me is because they're not getting TTD. And if you're not getting paid, it's hard to pay rent or buy shoes for your kid or buy food, So, it's understandable, and that, it's sort of a hot potato question. The reason I bring up doctor's note is that's foundational. If you're just not going to work because you don't feel good, you are not complying with the rules of the Workers' Comp Act, right? You have to have a doctor's note, and you have to be off work due to an injury or condition sustained at work that is the subject of the workers' comp case. In other words, it's got to be the injury that you got at work is the reason why you're not going to work. And it can't be your decision, it's got to be a doctor's decision. Now, if you're off work with a doctor's note, I can't tell you, well, magically, I guarantee I'll get you TTD in 2 hours, right? But I will tell you that there are many, many, many cases that I get on the phone with the insurance company and they'll jerk you around, right? You'll call them, you'll call your company, they'll play phone tag with you for 2-3 weeks or a month while you slowly watch your bank account drop to zero. But they really don't do that with lawyers. That's because lawyers have options of what to do if you're not getting paid. So, and they know that a lawyer who works in this space knows what to do, knows how to take the next step. So I would say 80% of TTD issues get cleared up with a phone call or two by the lawyer. And then even if it doesn't clear it up, we at least know what their defense is. Like, what is their reason for not paying you? Now, if it turns out that they have a legit defense to the case, or a defense to the case that they think is legit, then, we've got to analyze it. We might have to take a doctor's deposition, and then we have to do what is called a 19B1 hearing under Illinois law. But, your state law might vary. But my point is, it's a hearing in front of the judge. So it's an emergency hearing you get in front of the judge saying, look, my guy is running out of money over here. What can we do? Can you help us? How can we fix this? How can we make this into something that is going to work out, right? Well, okay. The problem is, even though it's intended to be an emergency motion, it's slow as hell. You're looking at least, 6 weeks to get in front of a judge. And to me, that's not an emergency. If somebody calls me today and says, I'm running out of money right now, and I tell them, well, you got to wait, a month and a half, something like that, that it sucks, but that's the system. Now, that's the system in Illinois. There's really no faster way to get in front of a judge, but other states might be different, or they might be worse. But what about the second question? I know that's like not exactly the answer you want to hear, but in most cases, we're able to pick up the phone and get your TTD going. So that answers, the first iteration or variation of that question. The second is, when am I going to get paid on this thing? The number one thing for you to know about that kind of question is, until you are done going to the doctor, until you're fully healed, or as fully healed as you're going to get, lawyers call that MMI, maximum medical improvement, when you're as good as you're going to get, and any further medical care is just maintenance, right? In other words, we're going to write you pain pills, or we're going to, have you see a pain doctor because you're never going to get better, or they've done all the surgeries they can on you. Thankfully, that's a minority of cases. Most cases, people are discharged with, manageable pain levels, thank goodness. But once you hit that point where medical treatment is not going to fundamentally change the nature of your outcome, because remember, the amount of money your case is worth is based on the seriousness of the injury and how permanent it is, right? I've got a bunch of other videos explaining that. But once we know how permanent it is, which we should have a read on once you reach MMI, then we can calculate the settlement value of the case. Now, a lot of times people are in a rush, they're in a hurry, and they're like, just settle it. I'm back at work, I still have more treatment, I still have a doctor's visit, just settle it, I need money now. Really bad idea. A lot of people go back to work and they realize they're not quite, they'll be back at work for a month, and then they suddenly realize, oh crap, I still have a problem. A lot of people end up going back for more treatment. They end up going back for another surgery. If you settle your case, you can't get any of that. All of that's off the table. So your lawyer has an ethical obligation to make sure that he or she has a good read on what your outcome is, what your medical outcome is. Not going to get that until you get, until you stop seeing the doctor, or you get discharged, and the doctor says you're at MMI, right? So once that happens, then we can calculate things and get a settlement going. But it's rare for a workers' comp case. I've got comp cases in my office where literally I get a phone call within 2 weeks of my client being discharged from the doctor, and they want to settle it. And I tell them, well, this is what I do. look at the nature of the injury, the nature of the treatment, then I call my client. And I tell them, look, I'd prefer, my rule is 60 days. I like my people to be back at work for 60 days, and then I talk to them, and if they're not having any problems at all, and they want to settle their comp case, then we do it. But, you know, on certain occasions, we've gone shorter than that, shorter than 60 days, but 60 days after you return to work is sort of the internal rule, because I never want to be in a situation where we settle your case and you got ongoing problems. You call me up and say, Scott, I got to go back to the doctor, and I tell you, did you have another injury at work? Do you have another accident at work? Because if you're talking about the one we settled, you know, we're out of the box. You know, the book is closed on that case. So anyway, Reader's Digest answer is TTD. Man, I can get it for you for an injured person within a couple of days, or if it's a fight, it could be a couple of months at least before we get in front of a judge and get the depositions we need. And then as far as when am I going to get money on the case, after you reach MMI, then we can start moving in that direction. So a lot of times people ask this question when they're short on cash, and they don't, you know, the economy sucks, and you know, inflation is happening right now, and things are getting really expensive to buy, and people are running out of money. So, you know, lawsuit loan companies do exist to help you bridge the gap. I do not recommend people take out lawsuit loans because the interest rates are crazy high. Don't recommend you do it. But, you know, if your choice is you talk to your lawyer says, you know, you have a good case, but this is one you're just going to have to wait on. It's going to be 60 days, 90 days before you get any money on this. Well, if you have no other option, then calling a lawsuit loan company might be your only option. You're still better off borrowing money from family or friends, or, you know, whatever. If you're able to take a loan out, if you own a house or something like that, the interest rate's going to be way better than on a lawsuit loan. You know, the fees and costs on a lawsuit loan are brutal, and that's why I tell people not to do it. But if you need to do it, I understand. You know, some of my clients do take out lawsuit loans. I tell them the same thing I just told you, but, you know, I don't, you know, until I walk in your shoes, I'm not going to tell you definitively do it or don't do it. It's a decision that you need to make. But, you know, that's one option you have if money's not coming in and you need money immediately. It's, you know, that's the name of that game, folks. So anyway, that's the answer to that question. I hope that info helps you. And if you or anyone you know needs to talk to a lawyer, you have questions about an injury case, or you're looking for an attorney to talk to for representation, please feel free to give me a call anytime, day or night, 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. Call anytime, night or day. Sometimes you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, so I built two really cool tools on my website. One is called the Case Cash Calculator. It tells you what your case might be worth. The other one is called the Good Case Calculator. It tells you whether you might have a good case or whether you might have a case that's not so good. You know, case that might have some challenges, right? The cool thing about these tools is there's no lawyer to talk to. It's 100% free and no obligation, and the links are in the description. You can go there and use the tools. You can share them with anyone you want. It's completely free and no obligation. So really gives you great information without talking to a lawyer. So, you know, you probably want to check that out. The second part of it is it's free. You know, the first part of it is it's free. The other part is it's really fast and easy to use. I think it's like 6 or 7 multiple choice questions. It literally takes you 10-20 seconds to just click your answers, and then you have your answers. So pretty easy to use. Awesome information, 100% free. Links in the description. If you enjoy the video, please click like and subscribe. And if you wouldn't mind leaving me a 5-star review on Google if you enjoy the information here, I would really appreciate it. Very competitive business. And if you enjoy the info I give to injured people for free, then please consider giving me that 5-star review on Google. Link in the description. You just go to that web address on your phone, tablet, or PC, and it takes you right to the page. You click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Literally 5 or 10 seconds for you, but invaluable favor for me, which I would really appreciate. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you and your family are well. I am driving into work, and we got a little bit of traffic here, so I got paperwork to do. Who knew being a lawyer would involve so much paperwork? Anyway, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care.